Hey Scorpio, what's up? Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Happy to have you all. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Take away only what resonates for you and please release the rest. Trust your own intuition above all else because you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is a hard deck to shuffle, guys. It's huge. All right, let's set the intention now. Let's get Scorpio some clear, helpful, and insightful messages wherever they are at on their spiritual path currently. All right, thanks for being here, Scorpio. I appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the like button now so you don't forget later. I would appreciate that. All right, what's coming through for Scorpio's past? What's going on in the past? The Death card. All right, so there's your card. And it is a card very much associated with endings and the past for that matter. So how is that impacting Scorpio currently? What's showing up in the present? What is informing this reading in present energy? The Emperor. All right, interesting. So that's like a really nice transition from the Death card to the Emperor. For a lot of you, it may have to do with stepping back into your power, finding your own confidence, finding your own, like I'm hearing the word well, like your own well of power, your own inner source of power. Emperor to me is very like boss mode. Sometimes it can literally represent, our boss, our supervisor, the person we work for. For some of you, it might even be entrepreneurial. It's Aries energy. So with that, there isn't a lot of second guessing with the Emperor. It's like, it's trusting your gut instincts and going off of what makes you feel, some of my favorite keywords, motivated, empowered, inspired, right? That's very like fire sign Aries energy. It's the start, it's the initiator, it's the inception. So you're starting something, you're getting something off the ground after an ending of sorts. You may have been dealing with a Scorpio or an Aries. That's entirely possible. So what is supporting Scorpio at this time? What is the help immediately available to them? The Four of Pentacles. Having established some sort of solidarity, some sort of stability, really. Any four in tarot is about stability. Frequently, this is about financial stability or just sort of being able to kind of reset your body and feel like you're not pouring from an empty cup, so to say. It's like you have enough verve, enough energy, enough juice inside you to kind of like, the input matches the output, if that makes sense, with Four of Pentacles. It's Sun in Capricorn. So you could be coming off of, I don't know if it's like a career high or feeling like that you've achieved something either in your personal life or in your education, maybe paid off a debt or a loan that is now setting you up for not just future success, but sort of like immediate success. So that's what I mean, like having graduated or having finally paid off some debt or, finishing some class that now puts you in a higher pay grade or a higher salary for that position that you're at. Something like that. It's like having established some sort of solid foundation. Again, it could have to do with money or just putting you in a more advantageous position. It's putting you in Emperor mode, and it's going to help support Emperor mode. So again, that's what I'm kind of calling big boss mode. For some of you, I'm hearing like saving your pennies for a rainy day. Some of you have a little bit of extra money to spend or to give at this time. In which case, again, it might be going to some sort of something you feel motivated to do in regards to your career. Potentially something with family, but that seems to be a lesser storyline. So what is the advice on how to grow? What is a quality or some qualities that Scorpio might need at this time? What does the universe want to suggest to them? The King of Wands, holy Lord. Yeah, so this is you stepping up into your power again. I mean, the Emperor and the King of Wands essentially are kind of all in the same network. In my interpretation, the King of Wands becomes the Emperor. So presently, you're showing up either as the Emperor or that Emperor energy is around you. And again, don't get like hung up on the gender. Typically, the Emperor is masculine, but that's neither here nor there, right? It's anyone out there watching who resonates with this. So then the qualities you need are the King of Wands. So what's interesting is like that makes me want to interpret a little bit like, well, what is the difference here? They're both passionate. They're both fiery. They both have strong leadership skills. Again, there's a huge impulse to trust the gut instincts and really to shine your light. It's like the more you shine your light and share your gifts, you get rewarded for that in any sense of your life, whether it's, your dating life, your work life, your family life, whatever. So why are you being asked to lean into King of Wands energy, Scorpio? So that's a Leo card, right? So it's almost like there might be a Leo in your life that, I don't want to use the word mimic, but you really look up to them and you sort of want to mirror their qualities as a strong leader or just as a person in general. Leos tend to make tremendously great leaders because, it's that sun energy where it's like when they shine their light, when they share their gifts, it inspires other people. And that's what you're being asked to do here. But it's almost more collaborative rather than Emperor energy, which is ruled by Mars. It's an Aries card. It's very separating. It's very independent. It's very entrepreneurial. It's very much I cut my own path and like pioneering energy. Like I'm the first one to do it. And so I had to discover it essentially all by myself. And so with that, you are being asked to lean into your courage and your bravery. But I almost think this is saying you don't have to do it alone because you have a band of followers here, or you have people that want to help support you or endorse you or get behind you. Or let's see, maybe for some of you, if you've been in a very like independent mindset, again, just the idea of collaboration or teamwork or partnership, that might be something you're being asked to lean into more as you embark on this next chapter, this next journey, whatever it is. You don't have to go rogue. You don't have to do it solo if you don't want to. Why is Scorpio being asked to embrace King of Wands energy? I think King of Wands, generosity, is such an important word for Leo. And sort of like, I don't know, Leo, it's like that lion energy. It's like the regalness, the element of royalty. I think it's leaning into your confidence and owning it. Yeah, and I guess not being afraid to put yourself out there, even though there may be a fear of criticism or a fear of judgment. Ultimately, like, I'm sort of hearing like the proof is in the pudding. Like, I'm trying to find the right words for this. It speaks for itself is what I'm wanting to say. Like whatever you're putting out on the line, for some of you, it's your work, your time, your energy. For some of you, maybe you're asking someone out, or maybe you're in a romantic relationship. And I'm hearing like it speaks for itself. So you may occasionally fall into sort of the trap of self-criticism or fearing judgment, or just some sort of like anxiety. I'm sort of feeling like Nine of Swords energy. It's not here, but I'm sensing that. So you're being asked to lean into what you really do like about yourself and owning your confidence and owning your opinions, owning your decisions, and not looking back to second guess. It's like we don't want any like self-sabotaging energy with like Seven of Swords stuff where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, but maybe I won't. Leo had that same energy come through in their reading, and I'm wondering if that's why it's coming through to yours. It's like, stick with your gut. You know what's up. I mean, Scorpio, you're very psychic. I would argue you're one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. So trust your instincts, trust your gut, and like move forward with that confidence. And I don't know if it has to be necessarily with speed, but fire's pretty quick. It's pretty blunt. It says what it means, and it means what it says. All right, so perspective with the Hangman. Let's think about this. So the qualities you need, there's like a more benevolent energy. I'm hoping I'm using that word right. The Emperor can be very harsh and very blunt, but very kind of brash and prickly, right? Mars is the planet most associated with war, right? So with that, there can be kind of like a aggression, and because you are being put in what feels like a leadership position to me, yes, it's saying with the King of Wands, be open to collaboration, but it's almost like I'm hearing all these ridiculous things that I don't really want to say, but it's like okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm hearing that phrase or that quote from Anger Management. It's like you gotta feed your rage monkey a banana, or it's like you gotta tame the aggressive nature in getting ahead, which, don't get me wrong, you need to be a little bit aggressive and a little bit, like something about precision, knowing what you want and going for it. But I think with the Hangman and the King of Wands, it doesn't have to be cutthroat. You don't have to look at the people around you as your competition. I think ideally this can be like a group of people who are cheering each other on, because you're all kind of ultimately trying to accomplish either the same thing or something similar. Like, yeah, it's changing it from looking at people as the enemy or as the competitor, or being overly suspicious or suspect of people's intentions and motivations. And it's almost like choosing to see the good in the situation, in yourself, and in the people around you. That's really, to me, why the Hangman is coming through, because it's that Neptune energy. So you have fire and water kind of coming through here. And Neptune loosens things up. It's a little bit more dreamy. It's a little bit more compassionate. It's a little bit more empathetic. But it's not going to be steamrolled either. With the King of Wands, it's like, nope, we're doing it this way. But, thank you for your input, and I appreciate it. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a balance there. All right, so what is known? What are the facts and the reality of the situation for Scorpio? What is known? The Empress. All right, so ruling with love. This is very strong, like female maternal energy. Someone who, they really just want to leave good in the world and nurture things so that they can grow successfully. Over time too, it's Taurian energy, so it's fixed earth. So it's like, we got to hunker down, we got to do the work, we got to show our devotion and dedication. We have to be consistent, we have to be persistent. But if we're coming from a place of love, there's no reason why this won't succeed. For one or two of you, this may involve a mother figure. That's sort of out of left field, but for one or two of you, maybe it does. Some of you may have a very someone you look up to who kind of has a maternal presence too. Maybe your boss is female or something like that. Maybe you work with a lot of female colleagues. It doesn't have to be that. Why is the Empress coming through in facts? I think you're being asked to think long term about this. So with Aries energy, it can burn out very fast because, specifically that kind of Mars Aries energy, it's like, it's the race car driver. It's the rocket ship. It's like, let's go, 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 go. And then we burn out quickly and then we're done with it. It's initiating energy. So what's interesting is that's being paired with Taurian energy, which is, again, that fixed earth where it's like, now that we have the start, the catalyst, how do we keep that spark alive? How do we bring this? It's interesting when I said that almost felt like relationshipy to me. So it's like, it's fun at the beginning. We're in the honeymoon phase of whatever this is, right? Insert it wherever it fits in your storyline. But now that we're past the honeymoon phase, how do we keep that love going? How do we keep motivated and inspired for whatever it was we saw a lot of benefit in, or whatever we saw a lot of potential in? How do we maintain it? How do we keep it growing? I'm hearing like devotion, loyalty, dedication. Taurian energy is, for a lot of my Scorpio risings anyway, that rules your 7th house of long-term contracts and partnerships. So like, there's such a collaborative energy, no matter what this is involving in your life, if it is your story, right, Scorpio? How do we sustain this? And because it's coming up in the facts and the reality, it's like, this is not a fly-by-night operation. This is like the beginning of something after the death card. There's an ending and a beginning, but this is something like we want to hold on to for a good long while. So let's future-proof it. I think that's why the Empress is coming through. Like, if this is a relationship, is this the person you see yourself marrying or having kids with or building a family or moving in together? Whatever it is, it's like establishing some sort of solid foundation. Maybe you already have moved in together. But yeah, what kind of work is it going to take? And how do we keep it fun and enchanting and, I'm going to use the word romantic, without sort of getting bombarded by the monotonous, everyday, daily kind of like, almost like busy work. Does that make sense? Like, it's like we got to make sure that we keep interjecting like romance or fun. If this is a work thing, we got to keep it fun. We got to keep it light. We got to keep it enjoyable. And I've been saying this to a lot of signs, remembering why we got started in this in the first place. So that's going to help realign our compass. If we lose ourselves along the way a little bit, if we fall off course, we can get back on track easily by kind of leaning into that Empress energy. You nurture what you love. That's what the Empress says. So what is unknown? What is hidden? What does Scorpio not see coming? Let's see, the 8 of Cups. So Saturn in Pisces, which is a current transit we are all experiencing right now. So let's see, for my Scorpio risings and symbolically for a lot of my other Scorpios, Pisces rules your 5th house of dating. So that actually kind of makes sense. Wherever Saturn is placed, there's a need to grow up, to be more responsible, and to spend more time and energy being dedicated and, serious about something if we want it to thrive and essentially establish some sort of solid foundation that can serve us in the future. It's about building your legacy, right? So actually, for a lot of you, this actually may involve starting a family, because your fifth house rules your creative projects, what you look at as your quote unquote babies, but also quite literally your children, your fun, your games, your hobbies, and your dating life, right? So with Saturn, the fifth house is essentially associated with Leo. So it's all those kind of fun topics that, we like to do. It's things we do for pleasure and enjoyment and fun. It's, that's how we shine our light, how we share our authentic voice and our gifts. With Saturn there, it's like, but you got to show up and do the work, because there's something more serious about it this time around. It's because we want to future-proof it. We want this in the long term. This isn't something we want to go away. And so with Eight of Cups showing up in what's unknown, so there could be unexpected challenges that actually are going to serve you in terms of looking at your situation from a new perspective and approaching it differently in regards to how you want this to materialize and manifest with the Magician in the future. Others of you, I'm almost wanting to say a temporary end or a false start. But don't get me wrong, it's going to come back around again, but it's going to be reinvented in a new way. It's like we're going to breathe new life into it. It's going to be reinvigorated. It's very Scorpio energy. How do you deal with adversity? I think that's an important question to ask when you have Eight of Cups come up. What is no longer emotionally satisfying? Where do you need to edit or reject or eliminate or declutter things that are stifling you or getting in your way? Specifically getting in the way of what is a healthy connection, either at work or in a romantic relationship. Where are you burning the candle at both ends? Where do you need to delegate better? Saturn is the great teacher, right? It's how we learn lessons in life. And that's not the most fun card to get in terms of what's hidden. But I think it's what's hidden in a way where I don't think this is abandoned ship. I think there's a recognition that we have to change something up and do it differently if we want to get it to work properly. It being whatever, a relationship, a job, a team dynamic. But the Magician says it's not going to be as hard as you think because you have all the tools on your table. Everything you essentially need to reinvigorate this or reinvent it or breathe new life into whatever this is. You may have to walk away to get a better perspective, like to see the forest from the trees, but you're going to come back to it, and then there's going to be this element of creation. And again, starting anew. There's a moment where you have to walk away to reassess. And I don't know in what context that would make sense for you in regards to what the storyline is. But yeah, with the Eight of Cups is kind of the walking away card. But with the Magician, walking away is going to allow you to create something better and stronger because you're already coming from a place of a solid beginning, a solid start. But it's only a 4, right? So it's very early on in the stages where, the 4 leads to the 5. And 5 are all about change and chaos and, external forces kind of coming in and shaking things up and adding a bit of drama to the story. So that's what I mean. It's not like this entire spread is, it's all smooth sailing from here. That being said, you have 3, actually I would say 4 with the Magician. You have 4 very incredible cards in terms of key chapters, key players, major new beginnings in your life. I mean, look at all the major arcana you have. I mean, the Death card, Perspective, which is the Hangman, the Emperor, the Empress, a divine pairing no less, right? Whether it's male, female, or whatever. This is strong collaborators that need to move forward with generosity and kindness. And really strength. It's that Leo energy, let me hear you roar. And then the Magician is also major arcana. For some of you to truly embrace and accept this new gift, this new chapter, this new partnership, this new title, whatever it is, you may have to walk away from an energy that truly kept you trapped or bound or almost being stuck in an unhealthy, probably relationship, like a toxic relationship. And the thing is, I'm not even sure you're with that person anymore. But with the Eight of Cups and the Magician energy, I think it's important to assess how the people around you make you feel about yourself. if they make you feel great, if they empower you, if they inspire you, that's probably a friendship worth, keeping, continuing to connect with, forging ahead with them, versus the ones that make you question yourself or make you feel very negative or pessimistic or just keep you down in any sense of the word. It almost feels like what could potentially be like a toxic or an abusive relationship from your past. I don't know if it's necessarily resurfacing, but it might be kind of finally, I almost wanted to say like kick the habit. It's almost presenting to me as devil energy of something that you've held on to energetically for a long time, maybe a long held belief about yourself that really had no substance. It was based on someone else's truth, but you may have been so young or naive or whatever, susceptible to their criticism that you took it as a truth about yourself. And so again, there's almost a need to like declutter and eliminate and get rid of things that aren't serving you. We're only embracing what raises us, what lifts us up at this point, right? With that fire energy, fire always wants to go up. It seeks the oxygen, right? The flames go up. It's the water energy, which you are a water sign, Scorpio. You got to be careful because it has kind of that duality, but typically water will always find its way down, right? So that's okay. We need to embrace that. That's one of your gifts, is that you can go really deep, right? But with that, you don't want to get stuck there. You have to remember to come up for air. And again, it's about that change and transformation. You don't want to get stuck in the darkness and the loneliness and in the negativity and the self-doubt. And like we have to make sure we find our way back up. And you're a transformative sign, so you will be able to do that. But I also think there's a message here of like, remember that thing or that relationship that you wanted so bad many years ago and you just couldn't understand why it wasn't happening and why the universe essentially was saying, no, not right now. It may actually come back to you in some form. And the thing is, the highs and elation that you're experiencing right now in this new chapter is so extraordinary. I don't even think you're going to give this a second look other than to come to appreciate just how far you've come. And to be compassionate with yourself, because really you only know what you know. And it felt like you got caught in a dance, like you were tangoing with someone who maybe didn't have the greatest intentions, or again, they only knew what they knew, but you may have been involved I'm just kind of hearing like toxic, abusive relationship, but it feels very like Sid and Nancy. Like, I love you so effing much, but like somebody call the counselor because these two cannot be together anymore. And I don't mean to like make fun of it, but I'm getting that. It's like Sid and Nancy vibes where it's like you love each other and you went through a lot of like intense experiences together and that formed some sort of strong bond, but it was wrong to perceive that as a healthy bond. It was more just like a karmic connection where you were meant to impact one another and go your own ways. And so in some way you're going to be reminded of this and you're going to look back and be like, oh yeah, I see why I wanted that, but I also see just how far I've come where I can look back and be like, no thank you, that's not for me anymore. I'm a different person now. Incredible energy, Scorpio. What is the future outcome? The 10 of Swords. Yeah. So something that you held on to, this is like holding on to a lot of pain. Something that put you through the ringer, you are cathartically able to release it in a way that you haven't been able to before. I'm not saying this is a Cinderella story and overnight you're no longer affected by something that really hurt you from your past. That being said, you seem to be making huge strides forward because you are choosing you. And again, choosing your pack wisely, like your pack, your group of people, your community, that's going to have like a huge benefit to you. Because again, surrounding yourself with people who allow you to shine your light and allow your vibration out there that is true and that is honest and that is real, and they don't bully you or criticize you or make you feel less than or tell you you're too emotional, right? Like, don't you just want to punch someone in the face when they tell you that? Yeah, that's my emperor coming through, right? Yeah, this is about release and understanding again about a long-held belief that it was never yours to begin with. It was like a law that you were operating under, but the person who essentially established that rule or that law, they're not even in your life anymore. This could have been family, this could have been a teacher, a mentor, a professor, this could have been a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a best friend. I don't think they're necessarily around you anymore, or if they are, they're very much on the fringes, but because of some sort of upgrade, and let's not neglect the fact that you've gone through another major transformation, yet another, yeah, you're able to put something down. I do want to say once and for all. I'm not saying there won't be triggers, like I'm a realist, right? But I think you've developed healthier coping strategies and mechanisms on how to deal with this, and to remind yourself, like, you got to love the shadow too. Shining light on the shadow, it makes it less scary, it makes it less of a monster. It's about embracing it and working through it. All right. Astrology card for Scorpio. What's something that would be help I just said healthy for them to hear. Helpful for Scorpio to hear, please. Hard work is paying off. The new moon in Capricorn. Yeah, you do have some kick-ass career cards. Empress is very much associated with Venus energy. Venus has a lot to do with money. Aries has a lot to do with leadership. And King of Wands, again, has to do with like serving the people, but it's like you're high up on the totem pole, or however you want to say it. I think somebody who you walked away from, Scorpio, is potentially trying to manifest you back in their life. And I don't know if that's negative or positive. It's just simply something that's coming through in the what's hidden to you. So a lot of you are like, I have no idea who that is. Like, everybody I've been with has broken up with me. That doesn't make sense. Just wait. I can't quite catch the vibe on if that's healthy or not, so you'll know when it comes into your life if you want to tango with that again, right? And it's up to you. Maybe this person is coming through in a changed and transformed way, in which case, maybe you guys are going to build something great together. That being said, though, it is best for you right now to fully embrace endings and things that have exited your life, knowing that it's making space for what is actually meant to be yours, and align you to your future, your destiny, your fate, however you want to say it, because that feels really juicy and delicious and nourishing. So you do have two cards of cycles ending out, but again, it's like in a way that is like a rebirth. It's like a new launching. It's like I don't know. It's like a new inception of you and your life and what you want moving forward. All right. Specifically career-wise. All right, so then you have home in the sky. We're going to read about that really quick. 41. And then the 5, let's see. 5 makes the Hierophant. So what are you committing yourself to? I think that's an important question to ask. What are you committing yourself to? All right, let's see. Whoops, I'm on the wrong page. Home in the sky. It's about wanderlust, adventure, and a safe haven. Up in the sky, we see a floating neighborhood of houses carried by balloons. Birds peek through the window. In this card, there are elements of a journey symbolized by the sky, birds, and balloons. There are also houses which suggest home, security, and stability. There's your 4 of Pentacles. These birds have the best of both worlds. They can travel a big distance without losing their home. They are free to seek new experiences without worry. Home truly is where your heart is. All right, Scorp, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I love my Scorpio gang. If I don't say it enough, I truly appreciate you guys showing up for me. So show me some love back. Hit the like button if you don't mind. That would be great. If you want to leave a positive comment or an emoji, that helps my reading find a greater audience on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post my readings. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook as The Intuitive Teacup. Thanks for joining me today, Scorpio. Sending you much love, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.